Okay, Acoustic Bliss. Let's go drinking. When these shoes were new, it was how do you do? It was whiskey and telling your tale. When my shirt was clean, I was there to be seen. I had clear eyes and my sight never failed. And all of my brothers that I've met on the way, they were drinking by night, they were drinking by day. Now restore to my eyes what was clear and was bright, and take me out drinking tonight. Whoa, take me out drinking tonight. Now bluebells and matches and stains on the table, and the sweet smell of the luscious woodbine. Well, Mr. McEwen, you will be my ruin, I said, but I don't really mind. And all of my brothers that I've met on the way, they were drinking by night, they were drinking by day. Now restore to my eyes what was clear and was bright, and take me out drinking tonight. Whoa, take me out drinking tonight. Well, they're still shining through all those stains on the table. Left is heavy and the other is light. Well, if it's left up to you, girl, I know what you'll do. You'll take me out drinking tonight. Whoa, take me out drinking tonight. And all of my brothers that I've met on the way, they were drinking by night, they were drinking by day. Now restore to my eyes what was clear and was bright, and take me out drinking tonight. Whoa, take me out drinking tonight.
Till I saw the sun, I don't know why I didn't come. I left you by the house of fun. I don't know why I didn't come. I don't know why I didn't come. When I saw break of day. I wish that I could fly away instead of kneeling in the sand, catching teardrops in my hands. My heart is drenched in wine, but you'll be on my mind forever. Out across the endless sea, I would die in ecstasy, but I'll be a bag of bones, driving down this road alone. My heart is drenched in wine, but you'll be on my mind forever. Something has to make you run. I don't know why I didn't come. I feel as empty as a drum. I don't know why I didn't come. I don't know why I didn't come. I don't know why I didn't come.
Good evening. I actually thought that was genuinely off. Good evening. Welcome to Acoustic Bliss. And a strange start. And thank you. I've actually already got a lump in my throat from just seeing all the lovely comments. Thank you very much. This, believe it or not, there's many reasons I picked that. So I'm going to start at the beginning. So this is actually technically the week, in the last week, at some point last week or so, Acoustic Bliss was 17. We think it's 17. I see David Burns is in the chat. He came to a birthday party of ours once and we weren't entirely sure what year it was. So I thought what I'd do, many things. One is that I would we would have a retrospective, you know, just a little celebration of some of the things that Bliss are. The other thing is that it's also the time of year where when I met Mark, it's kind of we don't really do anniversaries, but it's we met each other in a music bar, and you know, and that piece of film with that music, that little song by Christmas in Marrakesh, which is what we used to be called, represented all my dreams. Making an album. So I could see there were people chatting and asking about, no, it's not a new recording. Mark and I actually made two sort of short albums many years ago, and we just didn't really do anything with them. So if, perhaps that's something I should do this year, is actually finally properly release them. I mean, they're all covers, but we did it up in Glasgow and it was lovely. So welcome. And because it's the birthday party and I'm here, you know, you're there, and it's really not a good mix for me to drink too much whilst I'm doing this. I'm bad enough without the alcohol. So I'm going to just remind you all a little bit about what Acoustic Bliss is and was, and tell you things, and we can all reminisce. I will get in the chat in a bit. I just need to get underway. I feel quite nervous tonight. So some of you will know all of these stories, but you might not not remember it all. I was going to try and make a proper program with all sorts of things, photos. Do you know what? There's so much, and there's too much to choose from. There's things that are on paper. So that's going to be one of my projects, to actually put all of that stuff, gather it all up, and put it in one place, because there's just a lot of it. So let me tell you a story. Are you sitting comfortably? Have you got something nice to drink? I expect TV has. So I think it was 2006. I think it was January, and a man called Paul invited us to bring our PA to a bar called Bar Cruise, which was on the Sandgate in Ayr. And my glasses, let's do my head in. And to start this open mic thing. And I thought, oh, all right then, we've only been used to going to them, but we're up for that. So us, Paul, and we thought, what if nobody comes? Because there were no open mics for acoustics other than folk music in Ayr at that time. So what if nobody comes? So that's my computer. So we invited, but we're off for that. We invited the first person, not the first person, we invited some people to come along, and the very first, and actually on that occasion only, because Thursday wasn't a good night for people, was my very first clip tonight. So we had only 2 or 3 weeks in Bar Cruise, because, as those of you who know as well, we've got a bit of a poor record with closing things down, actually. So we were only there 2 or 3 weeks and it closed. But what a 2 or 3 weeks it was. So this was the very first person to play, but he was invited. And enjoy. And I shall get myself a drink. I'm feeling a little bit more settled now. Welcome to Bliss's 17. Oh.
Hello, good evening. Was it summer, wild and free, alcohol kisses and bitter memories? What Pacific beach with no stars in reach? That was you and me together, baby. Don't let me go now, don't let me go now, don't let me go again. Don't let me go now, don't let me go now, let me go again. No, 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 not this time. Ooh. By candlelight, silver moonlit nights, they say all the clouds have silver lines. But it never lasts, you know, never lasts. That was you and me together, baby. Don't let me go now, don't let me go now, don't let me go again. Don't let me go now, don't let me go now, let me go again. No, 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 not this time. By and flashing eyes, washing out those memories. You come back to me like a ghost, more than most. You hurt me, baby, you hurt me. Don't let me go now, don't let me go now, don't let me go again, baby, 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 now, now. Don't let me go now, let me go. Let me go again. No, 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 not this time. Thank you much. This song is about as raw as you can get. It's a few hours old.
And it means raw in a number of different ways. You waited all your life, for someone to come along, make it feel so right. When it hurts, keep going on. Till they say, hey, so long. And you gave it all. And you gave it up, just like the mountains. I breathe you in, just like the air. You breathe me out. You seek forever's a longer time, but I don't know if it is. You got me lost at a cost, broken heart. They say love can mend your ways, and if it lasts for you, that's good. All of your days, and when it's drinking, I'll drink to you, and I say so long. In the blink of a little lager, no, you'll be gone. And we gave it all. And we gave it all, like the mountains. I breathe you in, like the air. Oh, sweet darling, you bring me out. When you grow forever, love in the sand. Thought it was forever, but I didn't know. Baby, I didn't know it was a turn of this broken land. And you gave it all. And you gave it up, like the mountains. Thanks so much. Cheers.
So that was the absolutely fabulous Starsky. StarskyMusic.com. I put it in the chat, and he's one of the longest people we've known. We've known him we met him when we first started coming up to Kurt Michael, and anyway, so we invited him to the first week of Bliss, so that we knew that there was at least 3 players. So there was myself and Mark. Of course, we were called Case of Blue by this time, and Paul, who plays guitar, and then Starsky. There was us 3, the barman's girlfriend, and then a man who wandered in, who was staying in there overnight. It wasn't the wildestly successful night, and I think it was 3 weeks we were there. Each week went by, there was less and less furniture and beer and stuff, and so we kind of knew it was coming, but it was a start, wasn't it? And we didn't give up, because I'm not like that. I don't give up. So if you've just joined us, hello to Mandy. Look, there's too many people in the chat to say hello to, and I'm trying to not fuck it up this week. All right, pardon my language. I'm trying really hard, because it is important. Bliss wouldn't have happened if Mark and I hadn't met, and Mark and I met because of music. We met in a music bar, and although superficially it appeared we had nothing in common, except then he mentioned that he worked in a guitar factory, and then I realised that we did have something in common, and blah blah blah, right? But several years later, because we didn't come here until 2000 the first time, and then we actually moved here in 2003, and Bliss, we think, started in 2006, the what's interesting, right, I'm going to try and not talk too much tonight as well, promise. What's interesting is how interwoven everything is, and the music scene around here. I mean, there's just so many incredible people, as you know, because that's what we've tried to do, is try to share this over the last few years. And what started as something that was a bit of fun, something for us, because we weren't really, there wasn't really a place for us that naturally, where we would naturally play, and it's blossomed and bloomed into something. So tonight what my plan is to sort of just flash up some memories, because there's just too many things, too much to select. And I think George, somebody said in the chat about like the story of Acoustic Bliss, and I think it would be a great thing to make, because it overlaps with so many other wonderful events and musical happenings. So, but obviously tonight on there we go, let's get this up on. There it is. Tonight, there isn't time. I did try. I thought I would try and do it, but there was just too much. So what I've done, I've started at the beginning. I'm going to refer to bits of things that happened, but it's not going to be, an in-depth, a proper thing, an in-depth thing. It's just going to be things that have come to mind. And the same with the music. I've chosen things, just a few things that I like or thought were worth mentioning. Because all of it is, really what we should do is sit down and watch all of it, but you'd need another lifetime, wouldn't you? So my next act is the very first person that wandered in off the street, and those of you who've been to Bliss before, you'll have heard this, but he's the very first person to play at our open mic. So here we go. Oh, and it's lovely.
I've got my surprise, my treat to myself. I didn't even know I was getting, because some of you might recognise this man, and some of you won't. So those of you that don't recognise him, this is Thomas, right? Some of you know him. Thomas was the first ever person to turn up randomly for the open mic at Acoustic Bliss. He is our first genuine, random, turning up person for open mic. He deserves a round of applause just for that. Yeah! And what made it even more special is that Thomas at that time was a busker, and he'd never really played indoors. He'd only really played outside. So we felt very honoured to have him. And he's still busking, but he stays through in Edinburgh now. He doesn't stay in there anymore. But he's made it for every birthday party that we've ever had. And I didn't expect to see him, and he just turned up. So he's come through from Edinburgh, and I'm really pleased. So we're going to get Thomas to do a couple of songs now, and then we're going to move into our big wind you up finale. But this, for me, this last 20 minutes or so has been my treat, and I couldn't have wanted anything nicer. And just by the way, Duffy played the song. You played the song that I would have chosen in this bit earlier on. That James Taylor song. That's one of my faves as well. So here we are. It's Thomas Jacob, everybody.
Hey. Okay. Right.
I dropped it. No, it's okay.
Right. Hello.
Streaming of the past, and my heart has beaten fast. I began to lose control. I began to lose control. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry that I made you cry. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm just a jealous guy. I was feeling insecure. I was shivering inside. I was shivering inside. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry that I made you cry. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm just a jealous guy. That you were trying to hide. I was swallowing my pain. I was swallowing my pain. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry
cry. Didn't mean to hurt you. Just a jealous guy. All right. Yes. Messed it up. Sorry. Through your ride, the finest horse I have ever seen, standing 16, 1 or 2, with eyes wide and green. And you ride that horse so well, no hands to the touch. I could never go with you no matter how I wanted to.
Oh dear. Not quite as soon as I expected. I'm so sorry about that. That was Thomas and I didn't mean to cut him off, but hey, this is what welcome to Acoustic Bliss. It's like Groundhog Day, isn't it? So sorry, I was trying to line up the next video. Damn. Anyway, Thomas with Jealous Guy, which is the first thing I ever heard him sing, and Ride On. I'm so sorry. I can't promise that I won't do that again. I blame the Northern Monk that I'm on. And if you're not in the chat, Northern Monk, I'd like to tell you, well, I kind of am sponsored by Northern Monk tonight because I have a couple of free cans because James Bissett, his son, brews Northern Monk. They have a wide range of ales. This is their cloudy one and it's very nice. So back to welcome to the party. Bill's here now and all the other people who were up before I'm going to try and get to you, but just to say, so Acoustic Bliss is 17 ish. I think it was the 3rd or 4th week in January. I do know that roughly when, because I'm not entirely sure when mine and Mark's anniversary is either, but I remember watching Thomas and thinking what a wonderful way to celebrate our whatever anniversary it was then. So we started in Bar Cruise, and then because the bar shut, we had to move. But the man who owned Bar Cruise owned another bar across town, which I'd never been in, and it was called the Boroughfields Cafe Bar, which sounded rather cafe-ish, bistro-it. And I also, kind of imagined candles on tables and smoky rooms and playing blues and that. But anyway, Boroughfields was actually a very small bar with a very dirty carpet. And of course we all smoked, so it was it was just a big ball of smoke. But shortly after we moved there, the smoking ban came in and we all had to go and smoke outside, which we weren't very happy about. But I got to tell you, we made some really good Bliss friends because of that, because all the regulars at the bar, they enjoyed, well, they weren't so sure to start off with, but they kind of enjoyed this strange collection of people turning up and playing music. And of course we got chatting to them when we were outside smoking, and yeah, so it was the beginnings of Bliss there. Now so what that picture was, I was showing you. So the third person who I was saving till now, the third person on the first night and the second night, and the person that ran Bliss with us for, I don't know, I actually not sure, 6 months or so, maybe a bit longer, was this guy Paul. And he didn't have a PA, but man, could he play guitar. Well, what did you think of that then? I can see the things in the comments. Some guy. So that was Paul Cairns, and it was him that it wasn't called Acoustic Bliss then. He just got asked to set up an open mic, but he didn't have a PA. Young guy, what a player. And no word of a lie, I'm sure I've told you this before, but when we did move to the Boroughfields, that was quite unusual actually. I've got to tell you that when we first met Paul, he played a lot of quite old style finger picking, sort of Mr. Bojangles and sort of jazz, you know, the sort of things that someone could finger pick. That was something he was trying out. and apart from the fact that, you know, we loved it and it was just brilliant to watch and listen to, he one day in the Boroughfields, at the back of the bar was this very old man, I mean really, really old, and he stopped me as I was going to the toilet, because he had to go past everybody to go to the loo, right? And he stopped me and said, he looked at me, and I'm not kidding, he had a tear rolling down his eye, and he said, where did this boy learn, you know, where did he get these songs, where did he learn to play this? And he was playing, I think he was playing Mr. Bojangles. He said, I wasn't even gonna come out today, and I've overstayed my shopping. I thought I'll come in and have a half, and I've sat here, and he was moved, and he said, this reminds me of my youth. It was just so beautiful. You know, with the older pieces, he just had this touch. Breathless, people stopped, the pub always stopped when he played, and it was a privilege to do this with him. We were delighted to be invited. Felt like we were hanging on his coattails, but he was a young man, and he, you know, doing something every week, every Thursday wasn't necessarily what he wanted to do. So and of course, it, you know, open mic, it kind of mushroomed, and so he left at some point. I'm not quite sure when, I can't remember. And we took it over. We just stayed, you know, kept our PA going, and all these wonderful people started to show up. And the Boroughfields was it was someone said it was a dirty little hole. It did change over time, but it was our dirty little hole, somebody once said to me, which is true. And it was both the Acoustic Bliss got its name because Marlyn Harvey, who I don't know if she would watch, but hello Marlyn, if you are watching, she came to the bar cruise and to the Boroughfields really early on, and she once said to me as she was leaving, it's like food for the soul. It's acoustic bliss, you know, food for the soul. And I thought, right, that's it, isn't it? That's exactly what it is. Food for the soul. So my friends, oh, do you know? So let me what I started playing, by the way. So I started with a video, which I probably should have played now, of early players, and that was just a small selection of the people that came to play at Acoustic Bliss, and when we were at the Boroughfields, and there was all sorts. And of course, we didn't really, nobody filmed, so we only have photos from those days, and Facebook tried to rob us of all of them at some point. So now, you might think, well, okay, so here's my problem. Too many people to play. I can't play everybody. So what I've done is I've picked some songs that either I like, or you know, or just things that remind me of stuff. So there is literally no film from the Boroughfields, just what was that? Can't do two things at once, just photographs. So there's all sorts of photographs, and we started a gallery. Moira dragged us screaming and kicking into the 20th century. And she set up a MySpace page and all sorts, and we had started taking photos of every player, and thank God she did, actually, because we didn't even have a proper camera. And nobody had cameras on their phones really then. So we've got a whole, you know, gallery. If you go on our Facebook page on Acoustic Bliss, you can look through the gallery of players, and there's all, you know, it's just wonderful. There's all sorts of things, all sorts of wonderful people, and actually, maybe no, I'll come back to that. So my next act is someone who, well, I would say needs no introduction, but they're going to get one.
Anyway, Duffy was one of the first people that we met as well. And, well, what else can I say? He is. He's an enigma. He's a... Well, I'll tell you what, that could be our quiz for the night. What is Duffy? We could have words. What is Duffy? Enigma. Right, I'll be coming round because I'm grasping at straws here. Thank you for joining in with the balloon competition. We haven't finished yet. If you've made something, I am going to come around and ask you to name it. All right? All right? I'm going to ask you to name your creation. If you're not happy with what you've got, you can remake it. Anyway.
Now, I just want to interrupt to say, so this is Mr. Duffy. The reason I chose this clip is because he's playing his bouzouki, and he doesn't always play his bouzouki in a lot of the films. And he came up today, he came up to see us, and his bouzouki is now 19 years old this year, and still sounding as good as ever. But I've just paused because the next song that he plays is, I chose it because this reminds me always of the Borough-fields. And you know, now we've got an opening song and a closing song, but we didn't really have anything at the beginning. But the song that Duffy's going to play next is one that I chose. I always asked him if he had his bouzouki, if he would play it, because it's such a, well, it's blooming brilliant, all right, and it's well, it just speaks for itself. It's lovely. So this reminds me of Bliss at the Burfields.
Smoke on the stage was choking me. Huh? Says no, don't any funny more smoke. I think this next one is the first song I did at Acoustic Bliss 9 or 10 years ago. It's an American folk song. Well, the sun is surely sinking down, and the moon is slowly rising. This whole world must still be spinning round, and I still love you. So close your eyes. You can close your eyes. It's alright. I don't know no love songs. I can't sing the blues anymore, but I can't sing this song. You can't sing this song when I'm gone. It won't be long before another day, and we're gonna have a good time too. No one's gonna take that time away. You can stay as long as you like. So close your eyes. You can close your eyes. It's alright. I don't know no love songs. I can't sing the blues anymore, but I can't sing this song, and you can sing this song, and we can sing this song when I'm gone.
Mr. Duffy, everybody. Go on, give him a thank you. Yeah.
Yes. I always used to ask him to play that. And actually, not only does it remind me of the Burfields, before Burfields, and before Acoustic Bliss, there were other things sort of happening round and about, not open mics, more like sort of listen, where you went and listened. And I remember the first time I heard him play that, and it really moved me. What a beautiful song, James Taylor, I think it is. Wonderful. So we're not having that kind of party. It's not a woohoo kind of party. It's a let's think about, let's reflect. So I don't know what to play next. Right, I know I'm going to play this next because it's a bit of a change of look. But another person that came to the Borough who is kind of has been instrumental in all sorts of things is well, it's this guy, the bass player. Come on, let's just listen. Just wanted to say that when I said the bass player, I meant Stevie Bass, because the bass player in this case didn't come to Boroughfields. All right.
And who are you, me pretty fair maid? Who are you, me honey? Who are you, me pretty fair maid? Who are you, me honey? She answered me quite modestly, I am me mother's darling, with me to right ha, fa the diddle ta, to right fa the diddle larry oh. Oh well, you come to me mother's house, the sun is shining clearly. Oh well, you come to me mother's house, the sun is shining clearly. I'll open the door, I'll let you in, and the devil of one will hear us with me to right ha, fa the diddle ta, to right fa the diddle larry oh. So I went to a house in the middle of the night, moon was shining clearly. I went to a house in the middle of the night, moon was shining clearly. She opened the door, she let me in, and the devil the one would hear us with me to ah, father diddle ah, to it father diddle larry oh. Took me horse by the bridle and the bit, led him to the stable. Took me horse by the bridle and the bit, led him to the stable. Said there's plenty of oats for a soldier's horse, to eat them if he's able. With me to ride, ah, father diddle da, to a father diddle larry oh. And she took me by the lily white hand, led me to the table. Took me by the lily white hand, led me to the table. Said there's plenty of wine for a soldier boy, drink it if you're able. With me to run, ah, father diddle da, to a father diddle larry oh. Then I got up and I made the bed, and I made it nice and easy. Oh, I got up and I made the bed, made it nice and easy. I got up, I laid her down, saying, lassie, are you able with me to run, ah, father diddle da, to ring father diddle larry oh. Of day, devil a one did hear us. There we lay till the break of day, devil a one did hear us. I arose and put on my clothes, saying, lassie, I must leave you with me to right, ah, father diddle da, to right father diddle larry oh. Oh, when be married? Oh, when will you return again? When will we be married? When broken shells make Christmas bells, well, we might be married with do-ra-ha, father diddle-da, do-re, father diddle-airy, oh. With me do-ra-ha, father diddle-da, do-re, father diddle-airy, oh.
So that was Anchorline, and that's JP, Donald, and Stevie Bass, and I thought it'd be nice to see that video again because I haven't played it for a while. As I keep saying, there's no video from Boroughl's days, which is really, I find that strange, but probably just as well, because imagine after 17 years, imagine how much material there would be. It'd be crazy. So so Stevie Bass and of course Paul, which we'll come on to, they came to Acoustic Bliss at the Boroughl's, as did many people. So I'm going to play my next act. I was looking for this because there's several things about this. One is this is someone who came regularly from the beginning to Boroughl's, someone who's we've been connected with all the time, someone who was actually at one of the birthday parties, and someone who played. I asked for this particular song, and I think he does it beautifully. So if they're watching, if this person is watching, I know you've had some bad news this week, and I just want you to know that lots of people are thinking about you, and this, my friend, is wonderful.
was your hopeful voice. You had the choice, you made it more. Falling slowly, sing your melody. Now sing it loud. Pay the cost. Pay the cost too late. Now you're gone. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, Dave. I was going to say something, even if you weren't in the chat, because I actually noticed that this week. So I was checking messages. So let me just pause that nonsense. So we are, well, we're all sending you our best, because our critters, they mean a lot to us, don't they? So yeah, but that song, I'd actually already chosen that song because I was trying to think of things that stood out for me, like out in amongst all of this stuff. There's so, I mean, there's just, I could write a massive list. I did actually, and I realised it was just too big to do justice to. And so there'll be some people who are watching who aren't going to see themselves tonight, and I'm really sorry. I've really just been super selective, but hopefully you get that. And it wasn't about accolades tonight, it's just about a little bit of the Bliss story. And David Burns was the hardest working open micer that we'd ever had. He was the first person to come and sell CDs, and he was really well organised, and he did all sorts. None of us realised that he was on the Prince's Trust scheme, and they made him do it. But he did really well, and as I said at some point in that thing, he's never worked since. He's managed to, make a life as a musician, which is never easy, but hopefully he feels it's been worth it. So Boroughfield's off. So anyway, Boroughfield's, we had it closed suddenly. There was a notice. Somebody said to me, in fact, I found out because another pub rang me to say, would you like to run Acoustic Bliss at our pub? And I said, well, no thanks, quite happy in our dirty hole. And they said, well, it's closed. So, don't be daft, they would have rung me. Don't be daft. So I went out in the car, and there was a notice stuck on literally a notice on the door that said, we're closed temporarily because of burst pipes, right? And it was a bit odd because on the Saturday we had been in for Iona Macmillan's birthday. It was her 18th birthday, and we had a massive party. It was brilliant. It's the first time she could legally have a drink, and she was in the pub for the first time, really for the first time, and it was brilliant. So wonderful. And then the following week it shut, and we never went back in because turns out they never had a license. It turns out they never had a license. So, not never, but they let it run out or something. I mean, is that not blasphemy? Is that libel or something? But it was true anyway. So, what I'm going to play now is, we then moved. We were like, well, what the hell are we going to do? And Jonathan, who some of you will know, player, he said, well, I own a building around the corner that is run, the pub bit is run by a man called Bob Shields. Oh, okay. So Bob was a bit, don't know, have these strange looking people coming in, because I'm actually a restaurant, and we were like, oh, a bit too posh for us, but hey, it worked out, didn't it? It worked out. And so off we went to the firehouse. Now I've just realised I don't think I actually put my firehouse thing in. Dang. Blooming well didn't, did I? Oh well, you can't have everything, can you? So off we went to the firehouse, which was a brilliant pizza place. It was wonderful. We absolutely blooming loved it. So I think actually what I'll do is I'll play this one next then. Yes, I'm going to play this because it gives you a little flavour of the firehouse. So it was wonderful. The firehouse were wonderful times because it was a place where people could hang out during the day, because it did coffee and food, and you know, it was light and big ceilings, vaulted ceilings. It was wonderful, and we never thought we'd leave. So here, have a bit of this.
Champagne on New Year's Eve. My baby had a bottle. I was driving home. Single tears on a once-kissed cheek. My warning light appears on the way home. I used to sing good morning girl. Now we've said good night. I'd be lying if I told our friends we're alright. We're not alright. I wish I could say we couldn't be better. Whatever you mean, I sing quite low. We fall like a feather in all kinds of weather. We need some place where the bad wolf won't blow. Remember last year, where we danced in the hall with no shoes on at all. The blues keeps knocking us down, 'cause the bad wolf's back in town. We're like a broken down battery, flat out of energy now. Whoa, there's such negativity, so much negativity about. And pieces of the past lay shattered like glass by the open door. I don't wanna hurt no more. I wish I could say we couldn't be better. Whatever you mean, I sing quite low. We fall like a feather in all kinds of weather. We need some place where the bad wolf won't blow. Remember last year, where we danced in the hall with no shoes on at all. The blues keeps knocking us down, 'cause the bad wolf's back in town. The glass is half empty, there's no positivity now. Oh, 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 oh.
Wow, who will be our 900th? Unimaginable, wasn't it, that we wouldn't get to 1,000. So over the years, we are now up to, I don't know if you know this, but we're up to 861, I believe. And do you know who 861 is? Big Dave! Yes, Big Dave in the gallery, and 860 is TV and 859 is Ruth. So there were 3 newbies in lockdown, and but yeah, so the last person in the gallery, the last newbie, was Big Dave, and yeah. So, not gonna go down that road. But look, those were if you go to albums in Acoustic Bliss on the Facebook and you look for Acoustic Bliss Gallery, and obviously the earlier you go, it starts right at the beginning, and Moira has a picture of every player. Most of them we know the names of. There's a few from early days that we literally we had to go when Facebook took our page down some years ago. We had to go through and go, oh, who was that person? He's a friend of such, and get everybody's names. But that was just a flavour. So, and Moira, she made T-shirts for the hundreds. So everybody who was 100 got a T-shirt. I do believe Mike Abbott has a special T-shirt because he was, I don't know what number you are, but he complained that he didn't have a T-shirt for his number, and he managed to get one. So he's he's not on there, but he got one himself. Big Dave. Yeah, you'll have to look yourself up, Mandy. I mean, see, that's something else I could do as well at some point. Okay, so moved to the firehouse, and you saw a little bit of the place there. I mean, there is a few bits of video from the firehouse, but they're really poor quality and they need a bit of help, and so I'm not going to play any of those tonight. But I tried to think of, well, what sort of what would stand out from the firehouse, and it's actually quite hard to say because so much happened there. I'm looking for my next player, actually. So much happened there. And again, virtually no film, so you'll have to make do with that slideshow. Although that showed the borough film, so you've got some stuff to think about. I mean, some of the early stuff is it's ever so funny, and yeah. Anyway, so my next, where to start? Right, so no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to play this next one. Okay. So I also had some where is it? Here we go. I also had some bad news this week, and and a whole variety of things. But actually, one of the reasons Duffy came around today was to tell me that that one of our blissers, and Don, sadly passed away in the last few days, and many of you might not know him, but Don we met him first at the firehouse. He used to come and sit at the bar quietly and absorb the loveliness of it all, and he came to the Trial Dogs with us. In fact, there's a picture of him with Chloe in the Acoustic Bliss outro, and he was a great fan. He was a great fan of Acoustic Bliss, and the last time I spent any time with him was actually at the rugby club gig that Duffy used to put on for at the rugby club. Was it called Land of Burns Festival? And he was there with his friend Elizabeth, and it was really good to see him. So my next clip is really just as a sort of a nod and a remembrance to Don, because one thing he really liked Tommy Emmanuel, and he actually wrote some words to go with Tommy Emmanuel's Questions song, but it was really difficult to convert Tommy's song to for me to sing with it, so we never actually did that, and I can't find a recording of Mark playing Questions for Don, so I'm going to play this next one. So this is for Don, and it's Mark playing a piece that we both really love, that reminds us of Kurt Michael and some of the great gigs that we've got to play. So Don.
All right. This is a little tune called Morning Air by Tommy Emmanuel, who's My Guitar Hero.
Oh. So, Don, wherever you are, I hope, I hope a little bit of that got to you. And yeah. But that's actually been the hardest part of going through the archive, is you wouldn't believe how many pictures there are where a huge number of people in the picture are no longer with us, of all ages. So remembering all of them, and that was Mark. And yeah, he can play, can't he? But he's self-taught, and he's still, I don't know if he's watching, but if you are, you can play. And amazing, you know, he used to play about 5 or 6 Tommy songs. Anyway, next, right? So actually, some stuff in the chat. Somebody that I just remembered where I met Mandy Green at the Firehouse. I've just remembered. And yeah, and I can picture the scene at a table eating. I remember. And then at some point Mandy did come and play, get up and play. Woo! Blown away we were. But if you've slipped through the gallery, that's possible, because like I say, we lost a lot of Facebook pictures. Anyway, forget that. We then, Firehouse, well, that's well documented, all sorts of bother there, place closed. But here are some more people playing in places.
I have lost my heart in Budapest on a night in the middle of June, when the gypsy bands were at their best and the Danube was lit by the moon. Someone was singing all so sweetly, and I lost my heart completely. I have lost my heart in Budapest on a night in the middle of June. Lost my heart in Budapest on a night in the middle of June, when the gypsy bands were at their best and the Danube was lit by the moon. Someone was singing all so sweetly, and I lost my heart completely. I have lost my heart in Budapest on a night in the middle of June.
Oh, hold on to that a minute. So lots of faces there. I can see the comments. Oh, it's honestly, I tell you what, we must be filling half the internet with the stuff that we've generated. It's incredible. So if you saw yourself and you're not happy, sorry. If you didn't see yourself, sorry. And look at all the faces. What can I say? So yeah, there aren't really enough words, not really, for any of it. So we're not finished yet. I've got a few things that I want to show you. So we've now moved from the firehouse, another place. We managed to shut down in proper style. I mean, it was in style, and luckily for us, Bob owned another pub. But I have to tell you that after the firehouse closed, I was I don't know how to describe it. I wasn't very well, actually. I got flu, and then I got misery. I got flu and misery. That must be a decade ago. I had a very miserable year with age. In fact, just thinking about it, that's when the first of our cats died. So many bad things happened that year. Massive upheaval, massive change, and I began to believe that that was the end, and Acoustic Bliss wasn't relevant anymore, and because it was really hard to see where we could go from the firehouse being such a big place, and it was this sort of massive community thing. So we didn't really, after that we just did bits and bobs. We did other things. We went to places. We just found other places to play, but not regularly. So we did a bit here and a bit there, and we actually, Acoustic Bliss as a thing, I don't mean me and Mark, but actually as an open mic, because people by this time knew what Acoustic Bliss was. So if it appeared on a bill somewhere, then people knew that meant that they could bring, come along and play. And so we did all sorts of different things, and it was probably 18 months, nearly 2 years, before we finally moved to the dogs. So it's another slideshow, but for God's sakes, you love it.
Up in the West End, that's the best end, where the nightclubs thrive. Down into a dive you go. There's a jazz queen, she's a has been Lord knows what. Every night she's there on shore. She dances underneath a magic spell. She's full of charm and gin and stout as well. She's 66 but she looks 16. Her friends don't know her now, her face is clean. Fun night, funny, the frowsy nightclub queen. See her glide around the floor, glide into the pub next door. Fun night, funny is the frowsy nightclub queen. She looks well in the lime, she's a queen all the time. You'll get your money's worth. By day you'd say it's the second time I know. She waltzes into the West End shop, walks right out again between two cops. Fun night, fun is the frowsy nightclub queen. looks well in the lamp, she's a queen all the time, you'll get your money's worth. By day you'd say it's the second time on earth. She's a peach, but understand they call her a peach, cause she's always can. Fun like Fanny, the frowsy nightclub queen. When she dresses, she's like Mae West. She wears 2 saucepans upon her chest. She's fun like Fanny, the frowsy nightclub queen. She looks well in the lamp, she's a queen all the time, you'll get your money's worth. By day you'd say it's the second time on earth. Every morning about midday they're calling for the empties in the cart away. Fun like Fanny, the frowsy nightclub queen. She's on the table. Fun like Fanny, the frowsy nightclub queen. Quite unstable. Fun like Fanny, the frowsy nightclub queen. Without her frock on. Fun like Fanny's the frowsy nightclub queen.
Oh, so that actually, there were a few stuck in there that weren't actually Acoustic Bliss. There were things that the Cafe Orchestra or the Gypsy Band played at, but they were, you know, a little bit of Bliss went with them. And lovely, lots of good memories. And actually, I'd forgotten. Look at the, you know, how many different places that we did play out. There's probably a few missing, but yeah. So we weren't idle. In fact, Stranraer, that we went down to Stranraer. Checking the thing. So Firehouse, played all over the place. In fact, I was asking Mark for some of his, you know, like, you know, could he crystallise any sort of any moments that he remembered? Could he remember anything? And actually, playing at the basement, he played. It might have been Questions. He played something, one of Tommy's pieces at the basement, and he remembered that. It sounded really beautiful. Anyway, so we're in the final stretch now. I'm going to probably run over a bit because I've got a bit more than I need to. Let me just see. Right, so at we were floating about, not sure where to go to, and Bob approached us and said, would you come to the dogs? And we said, well, it's a bit wee. You know, ghettos. It's a bit small and there's just too many booths, and how would people, you know, nobody's going to be able to sit and watch the band, sit and watch what we're doing. And but Mark, I've got to turn that off, I don't know what's going on there. Mark thought that he would like to try recording, filming, and giving people, because at the Firehouse, one thing that has not been mentioned is that everybody got pizzas for playing, which I know there's quite a lot of players, you know, they managed to feed themselves, because we had a lot of students who used to come up to the Firehouse. Anyway, so Mark had this idea about recording, so we bought a desk that we could put a memory stick in, and people could, you know, we could record their live gig straight onto a memory stick. That was originally the sort of plan, so that they would have a, you know, a digital quality recording that they could take away instead of a pizza. And but then we sort of also, Mark said, well, maybe we should film, and I wasn't into it at all. I didn't think people would want to be filmed. God, you see, look how much has changed just in that time. I think we're talking about 2012 now. He didn't, you know, just did not want. I didn't want it really. I thought it would be a bad move, and I was wrong. really, really, really wrong. And if Mark's watching, I was wrong once. You know, it's only happened to once, but I was wrong. And so anyway, and then look what happened. Look what actually blooming happened. So things, you know, I can't play everything I've actually sorted out. I can't play everything that I've found. Many wonderful things happened, right? Many wonderful things, and many players, well, as you see, we were then up to 861, and people rolled in from all over the place, as you know. And when I'm going to document this, I think what I might do is use my YouTube channel, our YouTube channel, to do something like this, which brings me to this point. So I want to tell you, everybody, how grateful I am. It's that monk, that northern monk. How grateful I am to everybody for all the support and everything that everybody's done. It's been, the more I look at what we did, the more amazing it is. And some of the videos of the 12 dogs never, you know, they seem to be, when they were good quality, as good as ever. But obviously we're all getting older, and everybody's, you know, some of the videos, you know, the people are a good bit older now. Anyway, that's not the point. So I, as you know, over the last few months, I've struggled to get the internet on. I've struggled with all sorts of things. Things have calmed down a bit for me, but I hoped that what would happen is that I would do this and then Mark would want to go back to the pub, and well, originally I thought, you know, things would open up and we'd just go back, but anyway, and it hasn't happened, and it's not imminent, let me say. So I've thought about this really hard, and I've decided that I am going to hang my hat temporarily. It's not been an easy decision, and I want you to know that it's not you, it's me. I've decided that I'm going to take the rest of February off. I mean, obviously not off, but what if I tell you that on a Thursday it takes me between I use up between 5 and 10 hours on a Thursday getting ready for this. Now you might laugh, you know, and say what a debacle it is on a Thursday night, but it's actually, there's finding the videos, it takes quite a long time. I'm not moaning, because I have enjoyed it, and I've got to know what we have in a really amazing way. All right, but the problem I have is, because of all sorts of other things, I just don't have any spare time. And so I say every week, oh, I'm gonna come up with some ideas and think about things. I just don't have any time. And the time that I spend getting ready for Thursdays, that's, you know, because I can't not have Thursday. So I've decided that what I need to do is I need to take a break, so that I can think about what to do with all this amazing stuff. And I decided this yesterday, actually. I've been sort of mulling it over. I thought about it, and I decided yesterday. I've really no idea what I wanted to do. I still don't really know, but I feel like this is it's taken me months to get to this point. I think I need to think, because this is just me in my cupboard. This isn't it. I don't have time to look for new players, or to find, I don't even keep up with people I know and love who are playing and doing stuff. I've no idea what's going on. And as some of you probably know, you know, my COVID killed my business, and I haven't, because of all the other things that have happened, I haven't been able to get back to work. I'm not earning a moan. Anyway, this isn't meant to be a moan. What I want to say is that I think what I should do is take a little break and really think about what we do next, because I've come to realise that it is possible. It is possible that Mark might not want to go out and play again. And but that doesn't mean that I can't do something. So the problem is I don't know what. I really don't know what to do. And I think that if I take some time off to and use the time that I would have spent on a Thursday trying to find videos badly, and load them up and deal with all the shit. If I spend some time thinking about what we do with all this, I'll come, you know, and never say never, right? I don't know what's going to happen, and I've had lots of ideas, but I just don't have the time to do any of them. So here's the plan. I'm not going to stream again in February. I think what I'd like to think that I would perhaps stream maybe the first Thursday of every month, but something informal that I can just, you know, maybe pick a songwriter session or something. I don't know yet. I'll let you know. But that's what I've decided, and it's not the end, because this is really important, that I'm not letting Acoustic Bliss die, because there's too much loveliness, and the principles of everything, the principles, what we stood for, they're still there, they still needed. So oh, blah blah blah. Anyway, oh, friends. So I obviously I'm not wildly happy about it. I mean, but I think it's actually sensible. Okay, Jesus, me being sensible, but I think it is a sensible thing to do. So I can't see anything that anybody's writing in the chat, and I will look in. I might look, I might not, because I might get upset. So, but I just want to, before, we've got a few things that I want to play before we finish. But I thank you to everybody, and I mean, you know, this is Bliss's birthday. Over a period of time, this video was made like last year or the year before, and it might be a bit out of date, but I'm just going to play it now whilst I recover my composure. Okay, so here.
I have lost my heart in Budapest on a night in the middle of June, when the gypsy bands were at their best and the Danube was lit by the moon. Someone was singing all so sweetly, and I lost my heart completely. I have lost my heart in Budapest on a night in the middle of June. Lost my heart in Budapest on a night in the middle of June, when the gypsy bands were at their best and the Danube was lit by the moon. Someone was singing all so sweetly, and I lost my heart completely. I have lost my heart in Buddha on a night in the middle of June.
I like this song. This reminds me of the Ayrshire coast. I sit by the harbour. The sea calls to me. I hide in the water, but I need to breathe. You are an ocean wave, my love, crashing at the bow. I am a galley slave, my love. If only I could find out the way to sail you. Maybe I'll just stow away. I've been run aground, so sad for a sailor. I felt safe and sound, but I needed the danger. You are an ocean wave, my love, crashing at the bow. I am a galley slave, my love. If only I could find out the way to sail you. Well, maybe I'll just stow away. You are an ocean wave, my love, crashing at the bows. I am a galley slave, my love. If only I could find out the way to sail you. Maybe I'll just stow away. Stow away. Stow Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Right, so I just want to be clear that I'm not it's taken me ages to get my head around this, but what I'm thinking of this is like a bit like when we were Acoustic Bliss was homeless. I feel a bit purposeless. Acoustic Bliss is a little bit, it's a bit odd, isn't it? Something live in the pub, which is carrying on, sessions on Tuesday and Thursday. This is just, it's a bit odd. And so I feel I need to, all I'm saying is I just don't have the time to think through what we could do next. And because obviously Mark's, not quite, it's been a strange few years. So it's not the end of Acoustic Bliss. It's just I'm not going to stream for a little while on a Thursdays whilst I work out, because it will come to me. I just don't have any time to think about it. And one thing that's been brilliant is looking through the archive. It makes me think, well, it's worth fighting for, isn't it? It's worth, you know, having a new incarnation, like Doctor Who. I said in the chat, Doctor Who gets a new body and, you know, a new scarf or whatever periodically. That's what Acoustic Bliss needs. I don't know what that will be, but I've had millions of ideas. I just don't have any. I don't have even time to think about them, and I just lurch. I literally lurch from one week to the next. You won't have noticed. So, but the Team Bliss video, I know there's lots of people in there that weren't in there, but that was just some of the staff and people that have worked really hard on Bliss over the last 17 years, and that's why I'm not giving up. I'm just taking a bit of time to work out what the best thing to do is, and I appreciate all of you, even Brian with his lols. All of you. It's, you know, and see, a part of me has found it really hard to let go, because it is so wonderful to chat on a Thursday, but it's a lot of hours to put in for some chat. So perhaps you could chat anyway. I mean, I have thought about maybe, you know, setting up a Zoom thing or something, but I've got no further with any ideas than tonight. So if you have Zoom chats or you know, something, then let me know. But I do promise that on the first Thursday of the month I'll do something, and I mean, it's possible that by the beginning of March I might actually have a plan. Who knows? So that last was obviously me and Mark, and of course it makes me extremely sad when I watch that, because I loved it so much. But yes, somebody said, I think it was Tiff in the chat, things change. And actually, one of the things, you know, looking back over Acoustic Bliss history, we've that's what it's always been: surprise, change, things thrust on us, venues closing, people leaving us, you know, all sorts of stuff, and we've survived. So this is just another one of those phases. That's what I think. So I've run over by a little bit. I'm sorry. I'm going to pay 3 more things, I think. So my next video is, I've got 3 things. So my next video is going to win the award for the last video that I was sent before in the old lockdown phase. Okay, so this is my this is number 699, and I don't actually know what number Tiff is, but I got this video. It's really lovely, and it speaks for itself. But this is the last video of this incarnation of Acoustic Bliss.
Right, Michael, are you ready to show off your new bass?
Here we go. Did I tell you I got a new bass?
No, you did not. Is that the new bass? Now that's a rare looking thing.
It is.
It's a very bonny bass. What's all this going on here?
It's a walnut cap.
Walnut cap.
With a swamp ash back.
Swamp ash back, swamp ash back. It hasn't got the Bailey name on it though.
Not yet, but it will have.
You mean you got it even before Mark Bailey's seen it?
Before he even put his hands on it,
Yeah, exactly.
I got it.
Are you ready for a tune?
But what's this?
I don't know what that is. That's a chair somebody liked. That's now available if they wanted it. We could send it to Norfolk.
Do you know anybody that would like a chair like this?
Like that. Look at that. Is that not just the epitome of Scottishness?
You don't get the office shoulder number with it. Anyway, we're talking silly Irish because we're gonna play it Right On by Christy Moore. Or something like it. Nothing like it, actually. Here we go. horse I'd ever seen, standing 16, 1 or 2, with eyes wild and green. Do you ride the finest horse, hands light to the touch? I could never go with you, no matter how I wanted to. Ride on, see you. I could never go with you, no matter how I wanted to. Ride on, see you. I could never go with you, no matter how I wanted to. When you ride into the night without a trace behind, when you bore along my gut one last time, I turned to face an empty space where you used to lie. The tear that sparked through the teardrop in my eye.
On yourself, Michael.
Ride on, see you. I could never go with you, no matter how I wanted to. Ride on, see you. I could never go with you, no matter how I wanted to. Ride on, see you. I could never go with you, no matter how I want. Ride on, see you. I could never go with you, no matter how I wanted to. Ride on, see you. I could never go with you, no matter how I want. Ride on, see you. I could never go with you, no matter how I wanted to. No matter how I wanted to. No matter how I wanted to. Oh, be Jesus.
There they are. Okay.
Oh, see you folks.
Wait a
Thank
minute.
you very much for putting up with it.
Oh, and I'm so sorry. I totally forgot about the freaking peacock chair. It's beautiful. Oh my goodness. Right. See, this is what I mean. And actually, instead of spending 5 to 10 hours a week looking at a screen, digging back through memories, it would be actually much nicer to spend some of those hours seeing some of you in real life. I think that, you know, so that's, I'm not kidding, it's taken me probably months and months of just not knowing what to do for the best and hoping that something would happen so I didn't, you know, so no decision needed to be made. Anyway, all good, right? It's not, I'm just emotional because it's not what I planned. None of this, none of the last few years is what I planned or what I wanted, but it's what I've got. So thank you to Tiff and Mike, because as far as Team Bliss goes, they've been, you know, absolutely, they weren't in the Team Bliss video, I don't think, and they've been, well, you all of you, but thanks to Mike, I think I said this last week, Mike has provided, he's done so much recording, and so has Tiff. Thank you to all of you. I haven't finished yet, but I'm just saying thank you because I need to. A particular thank you, especially over lockdown, to Moira, you know, she spent a lot of time going through photographs, and it's extremely time consuming, and obviously before that, taking pictures and managing messages and all those things. You can see all the evidence of that. And to Ruth, because Ruth used to come and help set up the equipment on the stage, which, you know, all seems like a lifetime ago now, but it was great, just getting the hang of doing everything, weren't we? We had like a thing going, and through lockdown, keeping me dropping things at my gate and all of that, and then of course doing social media, because there was quite a lot to do, and that Team Bliss picture, I did see somewhere a notice that Redbeard is back in the land of taking photos, so that's good. His photos are far and wide, people use those for his for their little profile pics. So I've got 2 more videos for you, right? I don't care whether I'm here on my own doing this, right? Because I've got to play both of these. So I'm a bit, right, I'm going to play this one first, right? So after this, there's one more video, right? And I asked Mark, I said to Mark, okay, if there was one event or a group or a band or any, you know, something that really stood out for you, or a song even, you know, something that I can look for, what would you want to hear? What would you pick? And he chose this next thing. I didn't, you know, he thought about it, and he chose this next song particularly, right? Now I know that there's at least one person who's listening who this is not their favourite band, but this is Mark's choice, and I think the sentiments, the words are so beautiful. Okay, so I'll see you on the other side of this. I'm not going to leave you in a crumpled heap, or myself, don't worry. We're going to finish on a high. So this is Mark's choice for us all.
When we were kings, thank you. Ship, if I could only leave this room, and I could set my mind adrift and go sailing to the moon. And if I had you by my side, I wouldn't change a thing. But if I lost you from my life, I would leave this world for a different world. When we were kings, when we were kings, we fought for these things. When we were kings, I could take this river if I would only lift my hands. forever if I just open up my eyes. And if I had you by my side, I wouldn't change a thing. But if I lost you from my life, I would leave this world for a different world. When we were kids, when we were kings, we fought for these things. When we were kings, and we sow the seeds while we're still young, they'll give us shelter when we're old. We were kings. When we were kings, we fought for these things. When we were kings, when we were kings, when we were kings, for these things. When we were kings. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Good night. Thank you.
Not quite good night. I've forgotten how lovely the lyrics of that were. So that was Mark's choice. And yeah, really good one. But still fighting for these things. Genuinely, this is not me signing off, you know, saying you'll never see us again. Not at all. Just need to refocus, really. And so I know exactly where we're going to almost end, right? No, there's so many people that I haven't mentioned. Honestly, there's just too many, and I think I will at some point compose and compile everything, and I'll sort the YouTube channel. There's all, and if you've got ideas about things that I can do, or you know, anything, just please send them to me, because I'm going to be mulling everything over and seeing what can happen, you know, what can happen, and at least I don't have to worry about letting anybody down. I would like to keep in touch, of course, and if you have Zooms or things, you know, whatever, Zooms get me, just ask me, right? It's not that I'm hoping to engage more and spend more time with you, either individual or as a group, rather than you know, just being stuck here myself in this cupboard. Anyway, my it's not the last clip that I'm going to play. This is my penultimate, but really, no, I've got to play this, right? Bane of my life, but it's the most uplifting thing. It's going to uplift you, you know, even if you don't like it, you're going to be uplifted. So we have crossed paths with so many amazingly wonderful people, and now there is actually too many people to mention that we've lost. It's quite unbelievable. But anyway, oh, I don't need to say anything. Look, be uplifted.
I'll surf it on plectrums now.
Abattoir song.
Abattoir song. Okay. This is a song about the meat processing industry. And it's dedicated to all of you that are going to get tucked into your steak pie tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, lovely. Workers down at the abattoir, shoveling entrails into buckets of shite. Yeah, we're all happy workers down at the abattoir. Oh, how I love to be there at night. Oh, well, I plug the humane killer into the animal's neck. To see him squirm in there gives me a sexual thrill. And when I see him writhing there, all covered in blood, I get the urge to fuck him. I think I might. 'Cause we're all happy workers down at the abattoir, shoveling entrails into buckets of shite. Yeah, we're all happy workers down at the abattoir. Oh, how I love to be there at night. Yeah, we're all happy workers down at the abattoir. Yeah, we're all happy workers down at the abattoir. Oh, how I love to be there at night. Oh, well, I put the humane killer into the animal's neck. To see him squirm in there gives me a sexual thrill. And when I see him writhing there, covered in blood, I get the urge to fuck him. I think I might. Yeah, we'll sing up, we workers down at the abattoir, shoveling entrails into buckets of shite. Yeah, we're all happy workers down at the abattoir. Oh, how I love to be there at night. Right, the rest is suspended on the grounds of taste.
Oh, do you feel uplifted? Who could be sad after seeing that? Do you know, it's not his best rendition. He got some words in the middle, but do you know what? When I found it, it was the couple dancing. If you missed it, you'll have to rewatch it. There's a couple dancing. I don't think I've ever seen that before. or else it's a couple loving, you know, they're doing lovely dancing to the abattoir song. Priceless. Yes. And Ken, it's a good place to bring us in, because Ken was there at every venue that we had, and pretty much every event that we went to as well. And yeah, and the abattoir song, oh my goodness, I can see there are faces in crowds that I can see. I was always very glad that my mum didn't have the internet, so she couldn't watch it. Oh, in fact, we could probably make a whole playlist of abattoir songs, because it's been done in all sorts of different ways. Anyway, Ken Blair. And before that, Mark's song was King of Birds, When We Were Kings, and yeah, good choice. So it's really nice to see that people have, you know, wanted to share things. Honestly, I'm not going anywhere. My email's the same, carol@baileyguitars.co.uk. I can, you know, I know that there'll be some people watching on catch up, and also there are people that are members of Livestream that might not be watching tonight. I can sort of post messages on Livestream as well, and as soon, honestly, it took me so long to come to this decision. But once it was clear what I needed to do, it's obvious, isn't it? It's obvious. I need more time. I need to earn some money, and I need more time, and I need time to think, and I need to be able to go and visit people. And at the moment, you know, spending all this time going through the archive, it's backward looking. It's been brilliant. But it's not over yet. I just need a bit of time to think. So, my friends, thank you all for everything. If I haven't thanked you individually, please know that I will. Yeah, and listen, I will, the first Thursday of the month I'll do something, I'll let you know, and it'll be a bit more relaxed. I won't have to panic about it, and I'll have come up with so many ideas, it'll be a breeze. So Mark said, oh, have you got such and such a song ready? I said, no, I haven't actually, and I couldn't find it. I couldn't find what I was looking for, so I've gone for this instead. And because it's happiness. We've run over massively. I blame the Northern Monk, but that's fine. So thank you very much. I won't come back after this, and I'll see you. Maybe I won't even be in my cupboard. I'll see you, hopefully some of you I'll see before the end of the month, at the beginning of next month. Remember, it's 28 days. So weight off me. It's a weight off me. I've been quite worried about that. But anyway, thank you very much, everybody. And it's just toodaloo. It's adieu, lol.
Finesse and loveliness, as always. Thank you to our roving, touring bikers on day 6 of their journey. I suspect that day 7 might get off to a slow start. Possibly might melt into day 8. But anyway, this is, Moira's asked for it, right? But it is our song for all of you and everybody. We embrace you all wherever you are watching, and thank you to all the people that have made tonight lovely. So Moira. Once upon a time there was a tavern where Moira used to raise a glass or 2 or 3 or 4 or 10 or a whole bottle, right? Sometimes I would see her in that tavern, and we'd dream of all the good things we could do. Those were the days, my friend, we thought they'd never end. We'd sing and dance forever and a day. We'd live the life we choose, we'd fight and never lose, for we are young and we will have our way. La 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 la. Then the many years went spinning by us. We
lost our starry notions on the way. Sometimes I would see you in that tavern, and then we'd look at one another and we'd say, "What are you doing, Moira?" We'd say, "Those were the days, my friend. We thought they'd never end. We'd sing and dance forever and a day. We lived a life we choose, we fight and never lose. But we are young and we will have our way. La 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 la." Oh dear. But just the other day I went by that tavern, and nothing was the way it used to be. But in the glass I saw a strange reflection. Oh, was that sad and lonely woman really me? But through the door I hear familiar laughter. I see your faces, and I hear you call my name. And Mark, and Duffy, and Liam, and Moira. Yes, my friends, we're older but no wiser. But in our hearts, the dream remains the same. These are the days, my friend. We know they'll never end. We'll sing and dance forever and a day. We'll live the life we choose. We fight and never lose. For we are young and we will have our way. La 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 la. Those were the days, my friend. You know they'll never end. We'll sing and dance forever and a day. We'll live the life we choose. We'll fight and never lose. These are the days, my friends. These are the days. Thank you, everybody. Good night. We'll see you next week. Thank you. Thanks to the dancers. That was great. You wouldn't believe there's only half a dozen people.
Town of Air, Statue Square, Twaddock's Bar, you'll find it there. And Bailey guitars on a night like this, sweet sound of acoustic bliss. Carol sings to Moore's guitar, Jem smiling behind the bar, no worries. Cousin Bob singing bar, the smiles come free. bring you song, play guitar or an old baron. Banjo, flute, violin, piano, sax, just anything. Duffy rocks, Chloe rolls, Wolfie sleeps and Norman blows, no worries. Cousin Bob singing bar, the smiles come free. Absent friends, Willie and Ken, reminisce and laugh again. The song is sung, the day is done, but the memories will linger long. Behind the mask, raise a glass to live music and friends past, no worries. Cousin Bob singing bar, the smiles come free. Silent singers, songless days, shadows playing without a stage. And Bailey guitars on a night like this, how I miss acoustic bliss. Carol sings to Mark's guitar, Tom smiling behind the bar, no worries. Cousin Bob singing bar, the smiles come free. Life rocks, you gotta roll, play the blues and ease the soul, no worries. Cousin Bob singing bar, in Bob singing bar, in Bob singing bar, the smiles come free.
Bob singing Bob.
1 dog, 2 dog, 3 dog, 4 dog, 5 dog, 6 dog, 7.
Bob singing Bob.
Bailey guitars, 2 dog, 3 dog, acoustic, 5 dog, 6 dog, 7.
Bob singing Bob.
Bailey guitars, 3 dog, acoustic, 5 dog, 6 dog, 7.
Bob singing Bob.
Bailey guitars.